Oh.
Hello, hi everyone.
Hello.
My name is Elise. This is my third day of sprints. I'm actually waking up for them. Good for me. Anyway, these are going to be reading sprints. I'm joined with two guests today. If you two want to introduce yourselves.
Liz, do you want to go first?
I'm Liz. I run a booktube channel, and it's Liz loves to do a ton of stuff. That's the same for Instagram, and I can't remember what my Twitter is, but
And I'm Andy. I also do booktube. I'm also on Twitter as Oh Hey Andy, so you guys can check me out there.
Both are lovely, and welcome, Liz. This is your first time being on my channel. Hi, Andy. Been here before.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think we're going to do 20-minute sprints today. Hi, hello. We are doing.
go see something. My mom is calling me.
Go. But yeah, I think we're going to do 20-minute sprints again. I've tried to get a slightly less distracting timer. Hopefully it actually is less distracting. But
I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie, the fun timers are part of the fun, and getting distracted by them is just kind of like a rite of passage for reading sprints now.
Agreed. I guess we could go over what we're reading. I never know what to do at the beginning of these shows. Hi, Anya. How are you? I hope you're doing wonderful. Everyone go subscribe to Anya. I'm like Anya's biggest fan. Anyways, let's see. I'm gonna be continuing She Drives Me Crazy. I'm reading this as a group read, but we're only doing like a certain amount of chapters per day, so I think I'm just gonna do my section. And then I think I'm going to continue listening to an audiobook for a book club I'm doing, Rewind Book Club. Andy and I are co-hosts. We're reading Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I have not read that before. It's very mediocre, to say the least. So if you see me pop in some earbuds and crocheting, that's because I only have the audiobook.
I had to go lock the deadbolt behind my mom because there is a standoff in my local convenience store's parking lot.
Oh, perfect.
Please be safe.
Hope you all are okay.
Well, I'll be fine.
Good.
The police are getting there, but I was like, oh, pleasant.
Oh my gosh. What are you
doing? It's Tuesday morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. Oh, doggy.
Oh.
Please hold the dog.
There's a dog now.
Oh.
Really?
One day I'm gonna kick all the humans off my channel. It's gonna be
just the dogs.
Let's show your pets on screen. That's it. Oh my gosh! Yesterday I had the most embarrassing live show mind blooper of my life. Someone commented. I can't believe I'm reliving this. Someone commented like, "Ooh, a furry friend has entered." Okay, I thought the same thing, and I was like subtly trying to ignore the comment because I was like, okay. And then I realized someone had a cat. Anyways, not my best moments. And I had live on camera the way my the realization that they were not talking about a human. They were talking about an animal. Yeah, not my best moment.
My dog to go be with my brother because sometimes she likes to be loud.
Oh, that's okay. My dog's been barking all day. I appreciate it.
She likes to talk. Like she'll talk.
Daddy.
But she'll help keep my brother calm from frustration because he wants to play his game, but the servers are down. So
no.
Anyways, while you were gone, we were just going over what books we're gonna attempt to read while sprinting.
So I'm still reading this book.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
It's a cute one. It's like meh, but it's nice. I've read it before.
I haven't read it, but the cover's so cute.
I'm also reading Miss Peregrine's.
How far are you, Andy?
0. I am starting the prologue today. I keep promising myself once I'm out of work, I'll read for an hour, and I never do. Because I'm a liar.
So far. Let's see. Oops, sorry. I haven't joined any of your lives all week. That's okay. Hi now. I just finished A Spark of White Fire. I hope you enjoyed it. Mood.
What's the
Mood.
buddy? I want to know.
I want to know what your buddy reading. At least every video promotes me. How could I not?
I also want to read.
Oh.
Crazy. Is it good?
Oh my gosh, it's so good so far. It's really good. It's the kind of like total YA contemporary that's so quick to read, has like the witty, bantering type of dialogue, but it's super fast paced in like a good way.
Hell yeah.
I'm actually a little like we've been only reading like 5 chapters a day, and I actually have to like remove the book from my presence.
I feel you. I feel you.
I'm like into this, even though I started reading it like Saturday. Then we just had a bunch of things to do, so I was like, I guess I'm not reading.
Hi. Nice to see you here. Hopefully we'll get some reading done. We'll stop blabbing in a bit. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Part of we're reading Miss Peregrine's whatever it's called for a Rewind book club, and part of the book club is just hating the books or not finishing them because they're all throwbacks from like 2010, and you realize the books we liked back then are not it.
Half of it is maturing and realizing that wow, wasn't as good as I remember it, and the other half is being like, wow, this is incredibly problematic. Why didn't I see it before?
Yeah, I haven't read the series and I'm only halfway through the first book, but it seems like a series that doesn't need as many books as it has.
Yeah, it has like a ton. I thought it was only going to be like a trilogy, but it ended up having like 5 books.
Who's reading all those?
I'm not reading all of them. I remember the second book in like vivid clarity for some reason. I do not remember the first book at all.
And yeah, she drives me crazy so good so far. I can't wait to read all of Kelly Copeland's book.
Cute. We love sapphic.
Everyone, check out Anya's new video. I will be watching it at work if the Wi-Fi permits. Aw, Anya never likes my most anticipated releases, and then I just lie to myself that I liked them.
Yeah, I do that too. I do that too all the time. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited. Like, it's so great. And I'm just...
Oh, I'm terrible. Anyways, I think I'm going to start sprints now. We're doing 20 minutes because I do have to leave for work maybe in an hour-ish. Also, I'm just warning everyone right now, last time my laptop like majorly overheated and we had some technical difficulties where I had to switch to my phone. So let's cross our fingers here that I don't drop out of my own live stream. All right, so hopefully this timer is slightly less distracting. Okay, so we're going to do 20 minutes, and I suppose I'll shut up now. All right, so starting, oops, I paused it. Starting now. All right, that's the end of our first 20 minutes. We have a nice ad up here. Hello, self-storage. Oh, there it goes. All right, so that was 20 minutes. I don't know how much I read. I think it was like 2 chapters or 3 chapters.
I did not pay attention either.
Yeah.
I was kind of half distracted by my phone, so.
Oh, I feel that.
I mean, not only my like Instagram, but I'm also checking the news, you know.
Yeah, well, that's very understandable for your situation right now. Anyone reading anything interesting or not reading? I feel that you're not reading. Subtly teaching myself to crochet down here. Oh my gosh, sorry, I just got so excited. I think I'm gonna read that like in a few days. Also, Annie is hosting I just use my live shows to just promote everyone. Annie's hosting a Avatar readathon, and I think you all should check it out because it just looks really cool. And I'm gonna make my TBR for it today, so check out the announcement video. There's also a Discord server, and it's really cool, and a lot of people have been chatting in it, so it's been fun seeing that. 24 pages.
I read On a Sunbeam at least 5 times last year because my school library has it.
And really?
Just check it out. And like I read it the first time I read it, I was stuck at one of my brother's soccer games, and so I was like, I might as well just read it. And now I'm like, I'm gonna continue to read it because it's just a quick book I can pick up and read if I want to.
Nice.
That's awesome. Actually, I think Maury's in the chat right now. Maury's the one who gave me On a Sunbeam, so thank you, Maury. 2 chapters left. Oh, wait. Are you still reading Miss Peregrine's? Or is this a different book?
No, I think Maury DNF Miss Peregrine's.
Yeah, no, and then I'm confused which book this is. Well, hope you end up maybe like it. I didn't read a lot. I get that. I feel that.
Yeah. Rereading Miss Peregrine's right now, it feels like it's supposed to be like an edgy, young, like more young adult, teen-oriented Percy Jackson, basically.
Yeah. I think I would have enjoyed it in like middle school because I remember seeing it at like the Scholastic Book Fair all the time.
I would only look at the pictures. Whenever it was at the book fair, I looked at the pictures and you're like, oh, how weird, how strange, ew.
I was too scared to read it. That's why I never read it because I was like horror. Ooh, how is Malibu Rising? I keep hearing mixed things about it. I mentioned before that sometimes when I'm really excited for a book, I kind of lie to myself when I don't like it. I'm going to admit right now, 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I lied to myself about how much I liked that. I gave it 5 stars. I think in reality it was like a 3-star basically. Just straight up.
I hear so much conflicting information about that book.
It was just a little too, I don't know. I felt like it dragged on for me. You're very welcome. Thanks for creating such a fun readathon. Ooh, I just finished that one too. I hope you like it. I really, really loved it. I just wish it didn't alternate between so many point of views. There's 4 point of views, and it kept going back and forth between the past and present. So I kept getting confused. That is true. You did spell Filipino wrong. However, that's okay. I hope you like that book. The cover's adorable.
I was gonna say, most people on their first try usually spell Filipino wrong.
It's okay. I'm literally Filipino, and sometimes I can't remember if it's like a PH or an F. Let's see. Yay for Tilly Walden. I think I've only read one other Tilly Walden book.
I think I've read On a Sunbeam, I've read Spinning, and I've read
Spinning, I've heard of that.
Are You Listening? Spinning is
what I've read.
Yeah. Spinning is like her graphic memoir.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting because that's when I was in 7th grade when I first read that one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really good because I was like around the time that I'd started to like come out to people. Mm-hmm. And it was like I actually had somebody other than like, you know, an old, you know, somebody who's like, I don't even know how much older than me that was like queer rep instead of just like my best friend's aunt.
Mm-hmm.
So
did you like Are You Listening?
Yeah, I did. I have a copy of it. That's the only one I have a copy of because graphic novels are so expensive.
They are.
So
Yeah. Agreed. Oh, sorry, you did mention that. I spell my name like this all the time by accident. That is not my name. You don't know how many emails I've signed. My name is Elsie. It's horrible. Might as well be my name now by now. It's okay. We appreciate them.
Man. Reading this book just makes me want to read Percy Jackson instead.
I know. I'm really hoping for our book club.
I know.
I'm gonna rig the votes if Percy Jackson doesn't come
I
up.
am thinking about doing like a Rick Riordan like readathon of some kind.
I know you mentioned that. I hope you do.
And I was
You
thinking,
need
thinking about this as I was like pausing to read this because the descriptions of Florida in this book are way too accurate, and I was getting flashbacks. I'm from Florida. I'm originally from Florida.
Like the first series I owned the whole thing of was Percy Jackson, and like I'm always gonna like keep that because Percy Jackson is how like I made the current friends I have. So like I sat at a table and I had the book, and then one of my friends, well, it's like really how I like got really close with them. I put it on the table and she's like, they were talking about reading or something. She's like, I could read that book for like ever and ever, over and over again. And I was like, and I'm like, oh, I've never read it before. And she looked at me like I was from a different planet, and I'm like, I didn't do anything, but okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about like doing it in like quote unquote teams. So like you can be Camp Half-Blood, Camp Jupiter, Hotel Valhalla, or the Brooklyn Magicians. And I thought that would be like a lot of fun to see like, you know, like who signs up.
Raising their hand, I'm interested. Sign me up.
I'm thinking about doing it over in like next summer just to like get like the summer vibes.
That would be so cool.
That would force me to read the other books. So I've so far only read Percy Jackson, Heroes of Olympus, and then the first Kane Chronicles book.
You need to read the Kane Chronicles. They are so underrated. They're so good. I
only read the first one too.
And like I have all of them too. Like I have the newer covers, but the new ones that they came out with around last year or something like that. But like still, I have all of them. I'm like I should read these.
I own all the Trials of Apollo, but I only have read the first.
I've only ever read the first one too. I own all of the Rick Riordan books. I want to get a whole shelf of like Rick Riordan and Rick Riordan Presents.
I have a couple of the Rick Riordan Presents. I don't think I've read really any of them, but still I have them.
I want to read Aru Shah so bad, but it's always checked out at my library.
I'm tempted.
As soon as it comes in, it comes out.
I'm tempted to like go check out like one of the Kane Chronicles books at my library, even though I own it, because I'm like, if it's from the library, I will feel pressure to read it.
I feel that.
I feel that.
I'm going to feel pressured.
I feel that.
Yeah, maybe we'll do maybe next year. I'll work things out and like try to get it all set up so that it's like nice and organized by like June of next year.
That'd be so fun. Also, I saw a comment I got excited about. Well, actually, I'm like sad, but like excited. Hi, thanks for joining. Also, oh my gosh, this is bringing back memories. A.S. King used to be one of my favorite authors when I was in middle school. I haven't read any A.S. King books since I was probably in 8th grade, like when I was 14. But I just recently bought one. So A.S. King, I feel like, is a kind of an underrated author. I don't know if anyone's read any of their books.
I've never read.
I'm looking at a different comment. It's talking about the Kane Chronicles. I'm constantly being yelled at by one of my friends because she's like, finish them. Like, finish Rick Riordan's books, because that's like how we became really close. And so I had a birthday party the other day, and we have like 4 friends in the group. 2 of them were over, and she was busy that day. And I was like, I haven't finished these books yet. And then one of my friends texted the other one, her name is Jamie. I'm like, don't tell Jamie this. And then one of my friends texted her, and I was like, thanks. Putting me on spot there.
A complete Rick Riordan reread. That's ambitious, but I love it.
Oh God, I do those probably yearly.
I don't think I've ever reread any of the books.
Oh my God. Once we do in the future the Percy Jackson like special for the Rewind book club. It's over for all. I have notes. I have feelings. I've been in this fandom since I was like in the 5th grade. My
That's
books.
awesome.
I've had these books
Yeah.
since I was in the 5th grade. Like,
That is awesome. Look, you have many people interested.
yeah. Let's see.
Another Kane Chronicles stan. The same fan.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I'll do for the next 20 minutes instead of reading this book. I'm kidding. I'm gonna read this book.
Yeah, that's valid. I could see why you wouldn't like them. I feel like for me now, it's just mainly like a nostalgia book. I don't know.
Nostalgia.
That's why I haven't touched them since. I'm always scared to like reread my favorite books that I read as a kid.
I will say I have reread all of the first like Percy Jackson and the Olympian series relatively recently, and they hold up well enough. There's definitely holes in all of them. You know, it's been years. Not everything is obviously not going to be
The same.
or like, you know, and obviously like my nostalgia for the books has like propped it up on a pedestal of some kind. But
Yeah.
for the most part, it holds up a lot better than other books I've reread.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, for me, I reread like only The Lightning Thief, and then I was like, I want to read something else, but like it really just like, I mean, it's only been like 2 or something years since I first read them, because I read them when I was in like 8th grade. 2-3 years, I cannot. But like, I'm like, I hold them as such a high pedestal just because not only did these get me into like reading and into the book community, it really got me into like the musical theater community.
Oh yeah, with the
Now
musical.
it's like with the musical, and so I'm like, you know, this is like, I found it, and then I found Be More Chill, which was going to Broadway that year, like when The Lightning Thief was on tour, and then later that year The Lightning Thief went to Broadway. But like, that's how I really found like the bigger part of like the Broadway and musical theater community, and now that's also a community I'm a big part of. So I'm like, well,
That's awesome. All right. Oh, look at poor Maury. Should we squeeze in another sprint?
Yeah, we can squeeze in another sprint.
Okay. Let's see. Where is my timer? One day I'll get this down smoothly. Oh, I found it. World record time for me. Oh man, I have to figure out how to replay it. Oh, I'm so smart. Okay, well, we're going to get a Grammarly ad really quickly.
Get ad blocker.
But that is way too much technology for me. What is an ad blocker? Is it just blocks?
Yeah, fun fact, whenever I have ad blocker on all the time, but whenever I watch y'all's videos, I turn ad blocker off so you guys can get those watch hours.
No, turn off ad blocker for my
I always
video.
do. Always.
I mean, turn it on. I mean, I am not monetized. YouTube just like to shove ads on my video.
But we're going to get you there. I promise. We're going to get you there.
One time my mom was watching one of my videos. She got so excited. She's like, there was an ad on your video. I was like, no. That's just YouTube getting money. Look at all of you, just so much more technologically savvy than me. Okay, 20 more minutes, I suppose. I think I'm going to listen to Miss Peregrine's now. All right, go. All right, and that was another 20 minutes. I actually read this time. Got stuff. What was that?
It sure is a book that I am currently reading, yes.
Miss Peregrine's, right?
Yep.
24 seems to be like the number. 22 and 24 seem to be the common amount of pages. I didn't pay attention again how much I read, but I finished my portion for today, so I'm calling that a success.
Ooh. Nice.
I read like 2 chapters, I think, which is good for me. Because I don't usually read that much during reading sprints. I'm not a very fast reader, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
it kind of sucks for me because I'm trying to get in a lot of books this summer because when I start up school again, I'm going to have school books, and so I'm going to have to juggle both. So
Agreed.
luckily they don't assign summer reading unless you're in like an honors class or something. So
Well, I have not really touched my summer reading yet. I don't think I should be having summer reading as a third-year college student, but whatever.
You would think. But
when you're going into freshman year, I wasn't in honors freshman year either, but my friend, she's like, what I liked about this year is that my teacher let me choose the book I was reading like for my summer reading, and I just had to do reading logs and then write a short essay about it, and I'm like, that's fine. Like, I wouldn't mind summer reading if it was like that.
I swear, some of the like assigned readings that you're required to do in like probably high school, maybe grade school,
Yeah.
I think those are responsible for turning off people from reading.
Yeah. But the thing is about my school, at least now, you don't have like assigned reading books until you get into sophomore year, and then you do. But like the only time you'd have a assigned reading book in your freshman year is if you were doing honors, and in honors in freshman year, you're doing like the classics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like this coming year, I'm a junior, and I will have assigned reading books. I know that because I'm doing like gender roles, and I know one of the books they read is like The Handmaid's Tale or something.
Oh,
So,
well, that's cool. I feel like schools need. I know the classics are important or whatever, but I just think I don't know. I think for people, a lot of students aren't readers, and I think you need to cater to that if you want people to develop a love of reading.
They don't do like the same. I don't know if it's just my school, but like now you have several different English classes you can sign up for. So like this past year when I was a sophomore, there was like global issues, and there was mental health through literature, and then there was another like guided English class, which is like guided English. You don't get in there unless you went into freshman year and you had like a 3rd grade reading level. It's basically like special ed, but they weren't allowed to put kids without IEPs in special ed, so they were like, we're gonna call it guided. And then because they need the help,
Mm-hmm.
But then you have this year, I just remember gender roles, but the other option had something to do with sports, and I was like, no, thank you.
I'm definitely.
Yeah, I'm totally into sports. Basketball,
What's your sports?
cheerleading. I know so much.
The only sports I like are those niche homoerotic sports animes. I've been really into Free lately. I love them little swimming boys. Nobody asked. I haven't seen Haikyuu. I'm going to watch it at some point. Don't ask me about it. Also, Skate City. Don't do that.
Yay for good reading progress. I think I skipped Maury's comment. To talk myself out of the 3 stars, I think it's a 2.
That's fair.
Solid. And this is by Cindy Pond. Maury mentioned a couple times. Ooh, what was the book? What was the book that you reviewed? I love watching book reviews. I feel like book reviews are not, like just single book reviews are not the most popular booktube content, but they're some of my favorite.
I love making them though.
Same.
I haven't made one in a while. I need to actually write out and do a review for a couple books.
I like to make them, and then I publish them, and then I get real sad. If anyone wants to watch my Rise to the Sun review, you should.
I think the last one that I like fully did, and it wasn't like a thing that I like just edited slightly, was like what? It was like March of this year, and it was for Trouble Girls. So
Oh, did you like it?
I did like it. I got an arc, so it was like my mom. I got an arc, and it was actually really nice because I ended up doing an interview with the author on my channel. But I got an arc, and I was like, I'll read it, and then by the time the night I finished it, it was literally like, I'm gonna finish this tonight, and I stayed up, and then after I finished it, I was up at 3 a.m. sobbing. So
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I won a copy and a giveaway from the author, so I got a copy, but I haven't read it yet. But I've really been looking forward to it.
Ooh, Iron Widow. Heck yeah, Free is great. Everyone should watch it. It's not even based off a manga. It's based off a water bottle commercial.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
it's an anime. It's an anime.
Okay.
Everybody should watch it. It's free with like 3 exclamation marks at the back.
Well, I have seen that. Every time I just think people are being really enthusiastic.
Yeah. Good. It's good. It has no business being that good, but it's good.
I hope you enjoyed the book. I don't know what this is. It sounds very fantasy,
yes,
which is probably why I don't know what it is.
badly.
Is it fantasy?
Yeah, it is fantasy.
Okay, that's why I don't know what it is.
R.I.P.
Wait, we're all excited for Iron Widow. I missed out. Don't mind me Googling the cover right now. I don't know what that is.
One day I'll get you to read a bunch of fantasy novels, and you too will.
I will. No, I do try to read them, and then I just give them 2 or 3 stars. So if you have a recommendation that'll change my life, I need you to send it to me immediately. Okay, what is this called? Iron Widow? Oh, I have no idea what this is.
The green guy in Walk creeped me out. Huh.
Is it this?
Yes. At least I think it is. That's the book I'm thinking about.
It looks cool.
I want to read it so badly.
I don't know what it is, but I'm good. And what's the other one? Want, Cindy, on. I just like to know all of the books, but not actually read them. Yeah, I've not heard of this either. Ooh, but I like the cover. Well, I am glad you liked it. I'm excited for your review. Maybe this will be the book that changes my opinion on fantasy.
Maybe.
I do plan to read Legendborn. I know
it's contemporary. It's urban fantasy. It counts as fantasy, but it also counts as contemporary.
I don't know if I'll be able to read it before the month is over, but I do plan to read it because I plan to read it. I promise. I'm saying that now. I'm saying it live in front of an audience, so you guys have to hold me to it. Controversy.
It is. Don't listen to Anya. It is. It's good.
One of my least favorites last year, right after Gasp. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what an urban fantasy is, but
urban fantasy is usually categorized as like contemporary modern Earth setting with fantasy elements added in. So typically what it is that there's like the world that we know, which is normal and mundane and has no magic, and then there's a secret other world that usually has some sort of like magical element that's protecting it from the normal people. And once you are like once you know about the fantasy world, you can become a part of it. So Percy Jackson
I was gonna say that, like Percy Jackson
is urban fantasy. Technically Harry Potter is urban fantasy.
Cemetery Boys. Okay, and
Cemetery Boys is urban fantasy.
I just read Lore, which is urban fantasy.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
What else?
2 stars.
What else counts? Cemetery Boys. Shadowhunters is like incredible, like is like urban fantasy. So is Twilight, unfortunately.
I haven't read Twilight. All right, I don't have any strong opinions on urban fantasy, but I totally know what
I have strong opinions on urban fantasy. I also have strong opinions on magical realism.
Isn't magical realism like
is that there is magic in the everyday life, and it's like what we think to be true versus what we know to be true. So it originated from like Latin American authors. So like there's like a whole debate whether magical realism is a Latinx exclusive genre, or if it is like because of like the Latin American elements of magical realism, or if it's like one of those where it's like magical realism versus magical realism like capital M capital RTM. I feel like magical realism would be like if somebody just like happened to have the power to like, you know, like light cigarettes like instantly like with a touch, and like it's never like explained or brought up, it just happens.
Yeah, I feel like I see it a lot in books about grief.
Yeah,
just like a coping mechanism.
I just dropped my phone on my desk like 3 times because
so did I.
But it's bigger. So this came yesterday. I wasn't expecting it till tomorrow. And now I'm still getting used to the size of it because it's bigger than my old phone, because my old phone was like a 7 or something, and then this is an 11. So
I like the color though of your phone. Also, this comment about Legendborn, literally why I haven't started it.
The text is so tiny. Listen to the audiobook. The narrator puts so much work. Oh,
if I can find it for free, sure. Someone sent me.
Your library might have it.
Someone sent me Legendborn for my birthday, and to this day, I still don't know who.
Please read it. Please read it. It's so good. It has no business being that good.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've heard about it.
I think about it constantly. All the time. I've bought 2 copies of that book. They're on my shelf.
Oh, I love my influence here. Yen and I read Lore as a buddy read. We were struggling a bit, and I also originally gave it 3 stars, and then I decided to grow up and be real with myself and gave it 2 stars. I didn't like it.
That's so fair. That is so fair.
Agreed. It was like they had all the ingredients but didn't follow the recipe right.
I feel you.
Which would fit well with Chef's Kiss, even though this is about a different book.
Oh yeah, that's another one that I've seen mixed reviews.
Yeah. I've pretty much only seen like 5 stars or 1 star. Maybe I will try it. Oh, didn't you read Legendborn in like a day or 2? Leanne? I feel like that is a comment you made.
I've made loving Legendborn my personality. I am the marketing
team. As you should.
I literally convinced my partner, one of my best friends, a person from my school that I like kind of talked to a little bit, but not really like all the like an acquaintance of mine, and one of my friends who's an underclassman to purchase and read this book.
There are so many audiobooks that I want to listen to so badly because I found out that they're like I've heard that they're good, but I can't but I go on my library and they don't have any of them, and I blame that on a lot of these books being like LGBTQ, and I live in a small town, and it's not like, you know, it's not bad, but like the librarian there is a queer woman, but she's like, I don't want to get yelled at again. And I'm like, oh, she told me like the story. She had like a graphic novel or something, and there was like, you know, just like a mention of a queer couple, and somebody came in like angry at her, and I'm like, yeah, maybe it's better to like stay away from those, or like maybe I'm like, you could start putting like stickers on them that say like, hey, this has like an LGBTQ character in it, so like they can avoid it if they want to. But I'm like, that's what sucks about living in a small town, is that like, sure, I know the librarian and I could sit there and like talk to her for like 3 hours straight, but like also my library has barely any queer books because we don't want to get yelled at, you know, for having queer books.
Like, if possible, if your library does have like e-lending services, you can see if like about getting them as audiobooks or ebooks for like the app or whatever the heck.
It does have a lot more on the cloud library, which is like the thing that we use. I never download them as ebooks because I can't do the reading on my phone thing. It just annoys me. I do have a Kindle, like I can read on the Kindle, but the phone is just, it's so small that I just can't, like,
I feel you. See with Libby, I think, do you have access to Libby?
I'm not sure.
You could look
If you
into
have
that 'cause that's
Overdrive, you technically do, and if you have Overdrive, you can technically send the audiobook to your Kindle.
or
But
the
only
ebook,
your
yeah.
Kindle. If you have any other e-reader, if not, just not to be like on the agenda.
Yeah.
Pirate it, like
Yeah. And also,
we
if
deserve
you
to
have
see your
access,
what?
I was gonna say if you have access to Hoopla, I think with that, it's kind of like an overall database, so it's not your library purchasing individual books. So like, it would be whatever's available, not just like specifically what
Yeah.
your library chose.
I do have a lot more of a wider range because I also have the library in the town I go to school in, not my school's library. I do have my school's library through Sora, but the town that I go to school in, I have it there, and luckily I just have 2 free library cards because I just lied and told them I lived with my grandmother. So
Gosh, I love that.
I have a
I tell you I
library
live with my
card.
grandmother.
I have a library card for the town for the city I went to school, like to college in, and I have a library card here. So,
But then, but I was like, when I signed up for this year, I signed up for like a virtual one because I'm probably never going to go in there and get books. But I'm like, listen, in a couple years, I'm planning to move in with my grandparents to go to the community college that's close to them. So like, you know what? I'm just letting them know in advance.
Listen, we all deserve books, no matter the cost. That I am of that belief. So whatever you got to do to get those books, get them. And if anything, you're actually supporting that other library because you are giving them patronage, and they can count you as part of the people that they serve. So I think everyone's winning.
And I'm so excited. I'm moving out of my parents' house to an apartment so I can be by my college, and that means I get a Chicago Public Library card.
Woo.
You don't know how many times I've emailed them. I've literally emailed Chicago Public Library, hey, I don't live in Chicago. I live right side of Chicago. Will you give me a library card anyways? And every time they go, no. But
and now you get to have one. And now you get to have one, and you get to keep. You'll probably be able to keep your own library card anyway.
Yeah. Also, Liz, this just came off the top of my head. If you don't have access to Libby or Hoopla, you could totally do what I do and make a new email every month, so that way you can get a free trial of script.
That's funny.
You didn't hear that from me. I don't do that. No, totally not.
I've been thinking about getting a script account for a while now.
Yeah, it's nice when you don't pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's so bad.
That's the thing. I sit here and I think about stuff, and I'm like, I could get, I have all these things that I'm currently like subscribed to, and I'm like, my parents will probably let me stay on it for a while, but like, what happens when we're just done with it? Like, how do I pay for this stuff?
Free trials.
Like, just like a bunch of emails, I guess, like everybody else does.
Yeah. I had an embarrassing moment where for Christmas, I got like a couple credits for Book of the Month. But one thing you can do with Book of the Month is you have a referral code. So with the referral code, someone else will get the book for only $5 and you get a book free. If anyone's interested, I have my code in the description. But I will literally, when I'm running out of credits, I will literally use my own referral link with a new email. So that way I get a book for $5 and I get a book for free. Ultimate.
Y'all are terrible. I love it. Oh my god. Maybe I will. Maybe I will use your referral code.
Well, do it, because I think you'll only have a referral code if you have like a credit in the first place. So then you get a credit. Then you can.
Where do I find your
in my description? I just said get a book for $5.
All right. Yeah, look at your most recent.
I'm such a scammer. And then this month I was mortified because I forgot to cancel my subscription. Because if you get the book for $5, you're still technically signed up, so you need to cancel it. And I forgot to cancel it, so then I had to call them to cancel it. But then I didn't remember what fake name I used on my account.
Now you're here. Now we're here.
I can't remember. That was the thing when I went to the library to sign up for my library card. The one in Auburn, which is the town my grandparents live in, they were like, "What's your address?" And I sat there for like a minute being like, because I couldn't remember. And then the excuse I came up with was like, I just moved, so I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
Oh my god.
They believed me though. Like,
It's terrible.
at least they believe.
Maury has a link for a free month of script if anyone wants it.
Ooh, which
Solid, we love that.
first book?
We are all scammers here, but we're still
We're scamming together. We're scamming together.
I mean, it's not like there was no piracy involved.
I'm all for piracy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I pirate everything.
I was in the library yesterday.
Movies, music, TV shows. I pirate it all because I am poor. I'm paying off my debt. I have to go save up money for an apartment. I don't have. Am I supposed to just sit in my room all day staring at a wall silently?
When I first was listening to Simon versus Homo Sapiens Agenda, I pirated the audiobook off of YouTube because I did not know Cloud Library was a thing, and I was like, well, I'm gonna have to. And now I can read, and I'm like, now I read this book without any audiobook, but like, I could still have it there if I need it. So
everyone should be pirating things. We give corporations too much money.
I'm
not giving Disney my money anymore. The only service I technically pay for is Spotify and Hulu.
Same.
I pirate everything else, guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm like, when I start having to pay for my own things, I'm paying for Spotify because I cannot live without Spotify Premium.
That is the one thing I can't.
Like, I can't do it.
Remember, kids, when you get to college, use your college email to get 4 years of Spotify for $4.99 and Hulu with ads. Do it. You have to renew it 2 years in, like, to be like, hey, I'm a pirate. I am a pirate.
Sorry, I've discovered that I could change your name. So
I am a pirate. I am a pirate, and I am proud. Like I said, depending on your social economic status, you cannot afford these services.
Yeah.
You might live in an area, like Liz said, where you can't get queer books that have proper representation. You got to do what you got to do to be seen, guys.
My cousin's roommate, she was talking to us the other day, and she was like, yeah, so I still use my student email to get Amazon Prime for free because they haven't taken me off it yet. And I was like, okay, you go.
Also,
you gotta do what you gotta do, guys. I'm a firm believer. Y'all can quote me on that.
Sorry, Andy, I got rid of your pronouns for your name, so I guess
That's
you
totally
only respond to arg and matey now.
Yes, it is arg. It is me hearty or matey.
And that is it.
Yeah, Spotify is the only thing I pay for.
Same.
Truly.
Spotify, you can definitely still pirate music, but I feel like Spotify is the one thing that just feels much more convenient and enjoyable if you don't pirate it.
Right now, I'm on the family plan with my family, and I don't know much about it, but I think my dad was like, I got the family plan because it was cheaper, and I'm like, I wonder if you'll just let me stay on it. Like,
actually, I think if it's not necessarily cheaper once you're in college and you have a college email, but like right now, it probably is.
Yeah, I will say the college deal is worth it because you also get you get Hulu for the same within the same bundle, so you're all good. Again, the only things I pay for, and I only pay for the Hulu thing consequentially.
I mean,
I can live without Hulu.
Half the things I watch are on Hulu, like it's Disney Plus and Hulu, and like sometimes I'll have things on Netflix that I want to watch, but I'm like, if I ever want to watch something on Netflix, I can literally just make a new email and sign up for a free trial, then binge that, and then I'll be done. Like,
I will say the only times I don't pirate anything is if something is up for renewal and needs to get a certain number of people watching. Then I will watch things on loops.
My brother has Disney Plus. I mean, my whole family uses it, but he's the one who pays for it. But he shares it with 8 other people, so they split the price 8 ways.
Listen, you gotta do what you gotta do. These companies are going to get our money regardless. We might as well rob them of the $8.99, $7.99.
I was trying to. This reminded me of something because I bought something on Amazon Prime Video. Then I went to try to review it, so it could boost it up and more people would see it. Then it was like, sorry, you're not qualified to review things. And I go, you have to have spent $50 on a credit or debit card to review things. And I'm like, what kind of bullshit is this? Like,
Yeah.
listen to Amazon. Jeffrey Bezos went to space, and he went to space, and I can't review something if I haven't spent $50 on a credit card. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, I get so annoyed with that because like sometimes I'll do a review and they ask me, please post this to Amazon, but the Amazon account that I like buy things from Amazon on is my mom's account technically because she has Spotify, or not Spotify Premium. She has Amazon Prime, so like I don't want to post reviews on my mom's account, but then I haven't spent $50 on my other.
But like, I usually use gift cards because I'm like, I can limit myself, and second of all, I don't have a debit card right now.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do? And I'm like, I want to review these things, so I might just, eventually just like turn some money into like a Visa gift card, and I'm like, I'm gonna use that then because that still technically counts.
Yeah, no, that's obnoxious. I could understand maybe why, but like also be quiet.
Like, if I bought something, I understand their policy of like, oh, you have to have bought the product to review it, but like I don't understand of like why do I have to have spent $50? Like,
if my shirt costs $20 and it's a good shirt, I'm gonna tell people about it.
Right?
Like, you weirdos.
Also, this is very true. Spotify, I think, did an excellent job of making people so annoyed that they were willing to pay.
They did get me. I will admit to that. They did get me.
Because I won't be able to go back to not paying for Spotify. Like, after I experience...
My parents have, like... They just, like, put a curse on me because I'm, like... I see people, and I have friends who don't have Spotify Premium, and they have, like, a limited amount of skips, and they have ads, and I'm like, I could never do this ever again, and now I'm going to be stuck paying forever.
Yeah. How much does Spotify Premium usually really cost?
I want to say $10.
Oh no!
Unless it went up. Can you believe Spotify?
Character playlists.
I know. Spotify really said if you're poor, you can't listen to the music that you want to in whatever order. You just need to shuffle it and then get an ad every 30 seconds.
No.
Yeah, shame on being poor. That's what Spotify said to us.
I make detailed character playlists for all of my D&D characters, so the hour before I play the game, I'm like in the headspace I need to be in. And the idea that I cannot pick my character's favorite song at like the beginning, the idea of that pisses me off. I think I have one more year left of Spotify Premium. God, I wish I were you.
Is it just the 4 years of being in college, or?
It's like 4 years after you sign up. So like I signed up in like my sophomore year, I want to say. So I have like one more year left, basically.
Grrr. So rude. I know. This was my fault. I changed Andy's pirate. I was gonna say I changed Andy's pirate to mint pronouns.
The pirate pronouns.
Yeah, same. I used to have some app where you could like download YouTube videos and like save them in playlists. I forgot what it was called, but that was the stuff. It took like 15 gigabytes of my phone, but good stuff. Okay, I don't mean to kick you all out because I'm having a great conversation, but I do have a job. I have to go work.
Yes, please go.
But right now,
get that
we are all pirates. But thank you all for joining. I had a good time. Andy and Liz, thank you for joining me. You should all join me another time at some point in life, or I'll join you or whatever. Because I had a good time. But yeah, I need to go put on my ugly work polo.
Always. I have to call somebody back because they called me and they were like, "Hey, I want to schedule an interview," and I forgot to call them back because ADHD
mood. Okay, time to skedaddle. If anyone wants to join tomorrow, I have more sprints. What time are they at? Great question. I think tomorrow's the time I'm doing like late night sprints. Tomorrow, 10 p.m. Y'all. I'll be up. I'll be here. All right. Peace. Goodbye. Off to work. Thank you all for joining. Oh wait, I clicked the wrong button.